Uh, Yesterday, Sunday, Mother's Day, May 12th, just before 4 o'clock in the afternoon, there was a reported fire at 531 Middletown Avenue. It is the mosque that is behind us right now. We received multiple calls of fire. Fire units in responding reported seeing heavy smoke in the area. Immediately upon arrival, a second alarm was transmitted because it is a house of worship. It's a large public assembly space, large volume of fire, and we weren't sure whether occupants were remaining inside of the building. Once the fire was knocked down and we confirmed that everyone was removed, we began the process of salvage and overhaul, making sure that we could salvage whatever artifacts that the mosque needed. As we know, this is the season of Ramadan. We wanted to ensure that they could continue their worship services. Currently, the building is uninhabitable. It has been secured since yesterday as we conduct an investigation. In conducting the investigation, we've detected that there is intent in this fire. This was intentionally set. Anytime there's an event like this or an incident in a house of worship anywhere in the United States, it triggers a response of both the ATF, the FBI, and state and local authorities. That has happened. What you see behind us was one of the last meetings at the scene where all of those agencies were sharing and gathering information. We are going to continue the investigation as it moves from now a fire emergency to a criminal investigation. We want to thank the worshipers from the mosque for assisting us currently in this process of investigation, and our hearts go out to them during this time of their season of religious worship. Our hearts go out to them at this time. Yeah.
I was just going to ask, can you tell if that propane cylinder that's to the right of the building had anything to do with it?
At this time, Tony, it's too early to confirm or deny any elements at the scene. All evidence has been taken, logged, and that will become part of the investigation.
Can you specify what type of evidence made you believe that this was intentional?
At this time that we can't. We're just utilizing the resources of the state police and the investigators in the New Haven Fire Department. It was determined that it was intentionally set.
Is there surveillance in the area or inside the mosque that is going?
We will not comment on that, as well as we canvass the area for witnesses and also electronic surveillance. We're still early in the investigation, obviously. We want to make sure that we're not contaminating any witnesses or possible evidence.
So in terms of the investigation, obviously it's in infancy stages, and we're working very diligently to make sure that we bring it to a head. But we do want to say to the community that if you do know any information, however minimal you think it might be, please come forward with that information. It could absolutely be valuable to the investigation. To the community at large, every other house of worship, we are taking this very serious. We are working with our federal and state partners to make sure that there is no underlying issue to the greater community, to the greater religious community. We will continue to keep you posted in terms of the developments, but at this time we will not be talking about any elements of the investigation to make sure that the integrity of the investigation is maintained.
You
All right?
mentioned, are there any artifacts that were able to be saved out of the mosque?
Yes, they were. They were removed and turned over to the imam of the mosque. And to reiterate what Chief Reyes is speaking about, we'll be pushing information out of our joint offices in terms of assisting houses of worship going forward on things that they can do to further protect their houses of worship, because it could happen to a mosque today, it can happen to a church tomorrow.
Can you talk about the sign, the line for the reward?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So to assist in that, if you hold that one up, I'll hold the other one up in Spanish. To assist with that, there is a system in place for not only to receive tips and evidentiary information, but also there is a reward attached to it. So we would hope that anyone who saw anything, it doesn't matter how strange or minimal, we want you to at least utilize this line to assist us in this portion of the investigation.
Governor Lamont, can we have your comment, please, about we've had San Diego, we've had New Zealand, and now this hits close to home.
I find an attack like this is especially hurtful and hateful when you attack an institution for what people believe, and when you attack a religious house of worship. And the one thing I find hopeful, as I heard from the Imam, is that other houses of worship, churches and synagogues have stepped forward and said, we want to help. And what I heard here from the folks at this mosque is they welcome the help, but they want to worship right here in this place. And we're going to do everything we can to make that possible.
Thank you. Anybody from the mosque want to say anything?
Thank you all.
Are you all relieved to know at least you have answers with regard to whether it was arson or not, and investigators do believe it's arson? You believe that? Are you relieved in one way or another to know that you've got some answers anyway?
Yes, I do believe it.
How is the Imam and his family doing at
It's
this
fine.
point?
It's fine. We're all taken care of.
Okay.
It's fine.
We want to thank you, and
Thank
we'll
you.
be pushing
Thank
out
you.
further
Thanks.
information with a
Thanks for
formal
your time.
statement. Thank you.
Thanks for your